The Fly 1986 is a masterpiece. Outstanding special effects, wonderful acting, brilliant writing. But I feel there is one aspect that often gets overlooked, and that is the music. The music from The Fly by Howard Shore is both terrifying and beautiful. It's extremely unique and haunting. In some tracks, it is very subtle and gentle, and in other tracks, it gets strong and intense. It really sends you on a journey through many different emotions and feelings, and most of all, it perfectly suits the picture and the characters within it. This soundtrack has stayed with me for many years, so first, let's take a look at the vinyl and its packaging. Check this out. I love this artwork. The big block letters of the title of the film, The Fly. I think it looks awesome, so ominous and menacing. We have what appears to be Seth, at least I think it is Seth, coming out of the fog from the telepod. We have a human arm and an insect leg with little insect hairs. Very fitting for this movie, and I love the green glow that's present on here. Just adds an aura of science fiction mystery. Very cool. On the back, we have a lot going on. Once again, we get some big block letters, this time in yellow, and a bunch of pictures from the movie. We have Seth here discovering for the first time that something is very wrong. The infamous nail scene where he bites off his fingernail in the mirror. Then we have Seth and Ronnie together. Then there's a scene where Seth destroys the wooden beam in the wall there, showing off his newfound strength. Next, we have Ronnie in the telepod at the end of the movie. Then we have Seth, I believe, going through for the first time, and lastly Ronnie going to visit Seth as he is changing. Wonderful choice of pictures. I think they've picked some great ones from the movie in terms of pictures. At the bottom is a list of the tracks, but before we get to that, you have to see the big selling point here, or at least I think it's so damn cool. The actual record itself is green. Check that out. I've never seen a green record before. I think it looks awesome. Green is the color for this movie for sure. So let's jump into the actual tracks. The music in this movie is outstanding. It's all orchestral. I'm going to randomly pick out the tracks that I like the most. The first track I want to talk about is called Main Title. This one starts out epic and loud, and then it becomes eerie and mysterious, almost has a dreamlike quality to it. I feel like out of all of the tracks, this one tells the story and the struggle of Seth. It just suits the character so well. This eccentric genius who has incredible intelligence and mental ability, but he's also flawed in the sense that he is overly ambitious. This theme for me speaks volumes also for the romantic side of the movie, which is a big part of the picture. You have this wonderful romance that Seth and Ronnie have, and now it all comes crashing down due to this disaster that happens. This track has a sadness to it. You can feel the emotion within it for sure. The track also has a creepy kind of element to it. Creepy, but also enchanting. I find it almost hypnotic and hauntingly beautiful. I think it has a terrific melody. I've honestly never heard anything quite like it. It is so unique, just like the rest of the movie itself. It's gentle in some parts and ferocious in others. I love it. It's one of my favorites on this soundtrack for sure. One thing that must be said as well, when you look at a lot of older movie soundtracks, especially 80s movies from that decade, they can sound a little dated. I love 80s music and culture, so I'm not knocking it in the slightest, but in my opinion, this soundtrack does not sound dated at all. I think it is completely timeless. You could watch this in 50 years from now, and the music will still sound fantastic. Okay, next up, in no particular order, again, I'm just picking out my favorites. I want to talk about the arm wrestle. This one's great. This one is anything but gentle. This is all about suspense and drama. This one has such a huge energy to it. It's very fast and almost erratic. It kind of reminds me of an insect moving around. You know when you see a bug and it's darting around quickly? It gives me that vibe. The music hits a crescendo, and as soon as Seth breaks Marky's arm in the bar, boy is that brutal and graphic, but awesome at the same time. You can never forget that scene and the music that accompanies it. It's very memorable. The next one, Plasma Pool. Some people might say this is the best track out of all of them, and I can certainly see why. It's extremely powerful. And it first plays during the scene where you see Seth walking down the street. That right there is one of the musical highlights of the movie for me. The song kicks in, you get that mighty theme playing, and you see Brundle out in the city with other people walking by, and he still at this point has no idea what's about to happen. The track matches this scene to perfection. The last track that I want to mention here is a bit of a hidden gem, in my opinion. I haven't really seen anyone talk about this one before. It seems to slip under the radar. It's called The Street, and it plays during the scene where Seth and Ronnie are out in that market area, and Seth buys her that heart necklace, and this song plays wonderfully in the background. It's actually one of my favorites. It's so magical, ethereal, and graceful, and it suits the romantic nature of the scene. So overall, this movie's soundtrack is fantastic. I find myself coming back all the time to listen to it. I plan on making more Fly-related videos, so stay tuned for that. Take care, and I'll see you soon.